into it now, actually, but something I actually just realized. Both these fucking films have werewolves. Well, obviously. I just realized that. Both these films...
Whoa! No way! On Werewolf Week? Both movies had werewolf
films. Like uncle-nephew relationships. Yeah. I was just like, what?
Werewolf Week!
Holy shit. Ow! It's the night.
Are you ready?
I think so. I feel kind of weird, though, Matt. I don't know. I think something's coming over me.
Ah! It's a wolf. Scratching at the door.
I'm like, so, Wolf Week, Werewolf Week.
It's been a long time coming.
It has. Finally, it's here.
My body is ready. So is yours.
Yes. So, this week, we're talking about Bad Moon and Silver Bullet, right?
Silver Bullet, Bad Moon.
Which one did you pick?
Bad Moon.
Yeah, okay. Yeah. So why did you pick that one?
Because I really like it.
Okay, cool.
And I think it's, like...
Fair enough.
Not top-tier werewolf,
so
it deserves to be talked about.
Yeah, I'd never heard of it before.
Yeah, no one's seen this movie.
And then...
It was barely released.
Yeah. I picked Silver Bullet because I just had heard of it and had wanted to see it forever. Yeah.
You're a Gary Busey completionist?
Yeah. I'm like, oh god, something's happening.
Cool. Should be fun.
Yeah, it's fucking... Dude, holy shit. That hurts. Okay, time to put my fucking glass back on. Okay, so we are ready and willing to speak on this 91st episode of the Buddy Shotz podcast. Double feature, so which one do you want to do first?
I think we should start with Silver Bullet.
Sounds good. Let's, there we go. Silver Bullet. Silver Bullet. So, this came out in 85. This is based on the 83 Stephen King novel Cycle of the Werewolf. So, stars, thought I heard a werewolf. Corey Haim, Gary Busey, as you said before. Everett McGill, Megan Follows, Terry O'Quill, a bunch of other people, which I'm not super familiar with here. But it was written by King, and it says, yeah, that it's pretty much a bunch of killings start taking place in a small town. That's kind of like Stephen King fare, small towns, that kind of stuff. And the main character, Marty, is like convinced that murder is her being done by a werewolf.
Marty!
A werewolf's coming! There's something to be done about your kids.
This is the best movie from 1985 about a guy named Marty.
Marty. What else came out in 85?
McFly.
Oh!
That should have been the title instead of Back to the Future.
McFly.
That'll be the edgy remake. It's just called McFly.
Dude, oh my god. Like when they were gonna do another Die Hard movie and just call it McFly. I was like, fuck off. So funny. But yeah.
So what'd you think of Silver Bullet in general?
I thought it was pretty good.
Yeah.
Yeah. I had never seen it before, and Stephen King films can be kind of hit or miss sometimes for me. They can either be like way too long and include every single thing, especially if it's like a made for TV sometimes. And like, but this had like, for me, like the blend of like when you get the narration of like you kind of listening to an audiobook and like the film.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, I like it too. There were lots of movies like this in the 80s where it's like it almost feels like it's made for kids, but at the same time it's like R-rated and filled with gore.
Yeah.
Like it's a weird mix of tones, but I think it works.
Yeah, I think it works really well. Like both, I feel like honestly, it's funny you said that because I feel like both Silver Bullet and the other one kind of are both like made. It has, like you said, it has that feel of like, was this made for kids? But then it has like ridiculous gore in it.
Yeah,
that's like rivals some of the horror films and stuff. So I don't. Yeah, it's a weird tone, like you said, but it was good.
Starring Corey Haim.
Yeah. It's funny until we read off the credits, I didn't even realize that was him.
Yeah.
Because, like, he was in a bunch of movies and stuff, but then he kind of wasn't in stuff, and then he sadly passed away. So, I know him and Corey Feldman were, like, pretty tight and stuff. They were part of that whole group of, like, the Brat Pack and stuff, people growing up and all that stuff.
So were you able to figure out who the real werewolf was? Because it was highly telegraphed. They don't go out of their way to really.
Yeah, there's no mystery here.
I think it's supposed to be a mystery, but it doesn't work quite well.
Yeah, it's like this and the other one are kind of like Goosebumps, where it's like supposed to be a mystery, like you said.
But I wanted to ask you about that because, like, spoiler alert, Everett McGill is the werewolf.
Yeah.
And I always liked him
like
in
the
movies.
pastor or whatever.
But I wanted to bring him up because, one, he's a great henchman in Under Siege 2, Dark Territory.
That's one I still haven't seen.
But also, he's one of the bigger characters in Twin Peaks.
And
I just watched the new series again, and, like, he has a moment in that series where, like, basically his whole character is his wife is, like, a shrew and treats him badly, and he loves another woman in Twin Peaks, but, like, he won't consummate he won't cheat on his wife.
Right,
He wants to be honorable. So he's trapped in this marriage, and then in the new series, it's 25 years later, and his wife finally, like, allows him to be released from the marriage.
Yeah.
And there's a scene where he, like, confronts the woman he's been in love with for all this time.
Yeah.
And she kind of, like, walks away from him, and it's just a scene of his face, and he's, like, almost praying for her to, like, decide to come back to him.
Yeah.
And, like, there's such subtle acting.
Yeah.
But it's like, that's the magic of movies.
Yeah.
And Everett McGill is so good, and eventually she does come back, and, like, you see the joy go over his face, and I'm like, dude, Everett McGill kicks ass. And he's great in this movie, too.
Yeah, he's pretty good.
He's a unique presence.
It's one of those things where, like, I think if you see him in other stuff, like you probably see more into him. In this, he's definitely like he's a pretty like bad guy for a kids kind of deal. So he's pretty like
cartoonish.
Yeah. But like he plays his threat well and stuff for sure.
Yeah.
There's not a lot of subtlety to his character.
Opposite of Twin Peaks.
Yeah. But we've got some cool stuff with some dude gets his head knocked off in the first like 5 seconds of the movie, and it's
this is the kind of movie where you just will see a shot of a head flying through the air.
Yeah,
which I always appreciate.
Yeah, the killing had begun, but at first nobody knew, as he was a drunk, and anybody didn't think anything of it. I'm like, okay, so they thought he got decapitated and his head landed on the other side of the tracks where his body was. Like, makes no sense. But, you know, I think, especially with small towns, they want to, like, dismiss stuff and don't want to think, oh, there's somebody out there killing people. So, we talked about, like, the narration in this movie is done from the future sister. It kind of, like, takes the suspense of, like, obviously her character's not dead. You know what I mean? But at the same time, I think it does a good job of kind of like it's not overbearing. You know what I mean? It's not like
for sure.
You know, inner monologue kind of stuff. It's just it'll pop up whenever there needs to be some sort of like stuff given, which I thought was kind of cool. Right off the bat, she's treated like shit for no reason.
Yep.
And like
because little kids have to be mean to their siblings in movies.
Yeah. Because I guess they think that's what all siblings do, and I mean siblings do fight, but not. I don't know. Some of the stuff that happens in this, I was like, man, I would never think of doing that to my sibling. She calls him Booger, so man, she's out of control.
Do you think that he became Booger from Revenge of the Nerds when he grew up?
He became from Risky Business. Yeah. He's like, yeah, buddy.
The origins of his nickname.
The rise of Tom Cruise's classmate.
Nice.
But this was random, but it was also kind of like pretty messed up. This is kind of pretty classic fare for Stephen King to have a scene like this in the book or just in general, where like she goes in the bushes and like sees a lady getting like screwed. Essentially, like she confronts her, like impregnate her boyfriend. It's just like, I'm pregnant, and he's like, it's not mine, no way, and he like leaves, and it's just like, Jesus.
Yeah.
Now it does lead to something later on, but like, it's kind of one of those deals where sometimes that happens in King books, where it's just like something ridiculous will happen or something horrifying will happen, but it's just like there as set dressing.
Yeah, I mean, this movie embodies the feel of Stephen King's movies, or his writing pretty well.
Yeah, for sure. What do you think about like how I feel like the parents were kind of assholes, like the mom especially was just like always taking the brother's side, and he wasn't even like a jerk. He definitely felt bad about it, but it was like she was like, you better shut up or I'll whoop your ass to like the sister, and it was like, Jesus, dude, like, is that really necessary?
She was flirting with disaster.
Yeah,
playing with fire.
It's more than can handle. Also,
go ahead.
I was just gonna say, I thought it was also kind of weird that, like, they've almost kind of like offloaded him onto the sister, and not more so not just help him, like, you're in charge of him. And I thought that was kind of like fucked up to like, because there's very rare times when you actually see like the parents involved in like doing anything for like their disabled child. It's mainly like Uncle Red. And like the sister, and the parents are generally fine to just let him, take care of himself. But they want to kind of. It almost seems like they're like shirking the responsibility of him to other people. I don't know if maybe that's just reading too much into it, or
no, I get that for sure.
It almost comes off as like the, Goosebumps or like Are You Afraid of the Dark, where like the parents are always like comically evil or like not in the picture, so that you can have
Well, that's what I wanted to talk with you about more than anything, is Gary Busey as Uncle Red in this movie.
So good.
That's what I remember from this movie, is Gary Busey being hilarious and awesome.
He's the like quintessential uncle everybody wants to have. It's like nephews want him, and uncles want to be him. The ultimate gentleman uncle. But he's not really a gentleman at first because he's like drinking like a mofo.
Dude, yeah, like serious problematic.
Yeah. But he's never like mean, like he never hits anybody. He's never like, he'll get into an argument with his sister, but he'll never like hit anybody, and he's never like mean to his nephew. And it's like, you can't ask for anything better than that, really.
Yeah, he's a great character, and he's I think this is one of his finer roles, honestly.
Yeah. Yeah, he's as out of control as he is in this film, he's pretty subdued. But,
yeah.
Oh yeah.
But I have to bring up, like, believe it or not, Quentin Tarantino's talked quite a bit about Silver Bullet.
Really?
He, I guess back in the day, he made a list called, like, the 300 coolest movies ever, and he put Silver Bullet on that list. And he talked specifically about how much he liked Uncle Red as a character. And he's like, when I watched Silver Bullet, I wasn't scared for Corey Haim, because, like, I knew they're not going to kill him.
Yeah.
But I was scared for Uncle Red, because
you never know.
It seems like the kind of character who would die in this kind of movie.
Yeah. Well, it's kind of funny that he would say that, like, they wouldn't do that. But, I mean, I guess, obviously, even though it is kind of like a kid's feeling kind of movie, and they probably wouldn't kill one of the leads, and the sister's fine, like, a kid does get fucking munched in this fucking film, which I was, like, blown the fuck away about.
Yeah, that does up the stakes quite a bit.
Which I think was pretty great on their part. I mean, I'm not like, kill fucking kids, but, like, a lot of times in movies, it'll be like kids will get away in a comical fashion, almost to, like, how inept can the bad guys be. And it's like, You know what I mean?
Yeah. But since you brought that up, like, in the behind-the-scenes stuff, they talked about how they like, built a puppet of a dead kid, and they were going to show it, but it looked so crappy that they were like, we can't actually film this. And
They're like, let's just kill a real kid.
It probably is more effective to not
it's way more effective because
you just see the reaction of, like, the dad.
Because then it crosses over into, like...
something people could laugh
schlock,
at.
like, freaking, like, what's it called? Hostile territory, where it's just, like, just horrible shit to look at just for the sake of it. Where it's like...
and it could be laughable.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But, like, you know, even if it was 100% convincing, it's way better to see the father's reaction, because that tells the story better than any visual could.
Yep.
But I thought the brother and sister had, like, a real good chemistry in this film.
Yeah, I agree. It's cool to see.
Them write it correctly, and it's not just, like, name-calling, and it's like, when something happens to her that him and his friend do, he feels bad about it and, like, gives her money for it.
Right.
And, you know, she's like, you know, I only need this much, and, like, you can tell they love each other, and they just have fights like all family members and friends do. You know, it happens. But
and it's cool that, like, basically child actors could lead a film that's, like, made for adults, basically.
Yeah, I mean, it definitely can for sure be done. I mean, it's been done forever. It's just, it's all down to, like, the writing, like, what they have to say. And it's like, is this believable? Or it's like, you know, did an alien write this? They've never had, like, an actual, you know, relationship. So we come to the scene where the lady starts popping pills. And she says, suicides go to hell, especially if they're pregnant. And I don't even care. True literary
strong
mastery.
stuff.
Yeah. She was actually stopped and instead ravaged by a werewolf to death. So suicide was not in the books. Her death was, though.
That's the way I hope to go.
Yeah.
Suicide prevented by
werewolf
attack.
But then he kills you. Madman Marty and the silver bullet.
What'd you think of the silver bullet itself?
It's got, like, multiple phases. The first one is just, like, a regular... Well, it's a regular wheelchair with, like, stuff that, like, Uncle Red put on it to make it go as fast, like, kind of, like, pretty fast and stuff. It's awesome. I mean, it's something that, like, you can tell that his, like, uncle loves him so much that he will build him this thing that'll make him, like, able to get around, you know, and not be as dependent on other people. And then he built him, like, a fucking super badass version. Yeah, he built him essentially something anybody can get into and ride around. But, yeah, it becomes, like, faster than a car. So
they were saying, like, a lot of times they actually let Corey Haim, like, drive it himself. And, like, everyone was like, holy shit, like, should we be doing
I bet he was having a blast.
Oh, yeah, it looks super fun.
Yeah.
But also very dangerous.
So he has, like, a girlfriend in this, like, named Tammy, and she, like, she likes him and kisses him, and the dad says one of the most, like, I don't know how to describe this line other than it's fucking ridiculous. He says, damn cripple always end up on welfare, or I'll electrocute them all, balance the goddamn budget. As he's, like, drinking in the middle of the day and lives in a rundown house. I'm like,
watching wrestling.
Yeah. Speaking of which, yeah, that was good stuff. Gary Busey, I already talked about that. So speaking of the wrestling, though, I actually had to do some research to figure out what the fuck this guy was watching. So this guy was watching...
Put in the man hours.
NWA, Worldwide Wrestling. It was a match between Brian Attias and Paul Kelly. And if you're wondering, Brian Attias won the match.
Had you heard of those guys before?
I'd heard of Brian Attias, but never Paul Kelly. This was, like, in the 70s, so... Rebel, he's like, come on, Rebel. That seems to be a name made up for the movie for one of the wrestlers, since Brian Attias only went by that name, and Paul Kelly's aliases were Paul Kelly, Kip Kelly, and Mr. New York, and the fucking referee was probably Nick Patrick, so I think that he didn't have aliases. I don't know why you'd be cheering for the fucking ref, though. But what really puzzles me is this match took place on July 28th, 1984, a full 8 years after the 1976 events on hand here. So either this guy has a tape from the future, or we are watching a movie.
You found the one flaw in Silver Bullet. I can't believe it.
I'm like,
dude,
That took me like an hour.
That's awesome. You're probably the only person that's gone that deep on the wrestling match.
I wish I knew, because I went to a YouTube channel and there's this one guy that like does a ton of research on Silver Bullet, and he finds all the locations, and he found out like
sounds like a real bullet boy.
Yeah, he found out the exact match and shit, and I was like, dude. But anyway, yeah, it was fun doing the research. It was just kind of weird because I was like trying to figure out, because right away I knew who one of the guys was because he said his name, but then the guy wouldn't shut the fuck up and he was screaming over the match, so I couldn't hear the other calls. So, yeah.
You're like, pipe down character in this movie, I want to hear the wrestling.
Yeah, speaking of which, this asshole gets his comeuppance. The dad or whatever, he investigates his greenhouse and gets fucking speared! He gets a fucking piece of wood like jammed into him and he instantly dies.
That's a cool scene.
Yeah.
I like the werewolf scenes in this movie because they're basically like very atmospheric, and there's always like fog and smoke around and stuff. And But when it comes to the werewolf itself, I guess we can get to that at some point. But.
Yeah, there's a part essentially. Well, we'll talk about it, but like, so there's like a part where like they're all in a bar and the dude's like about to square up to a freaking cop. I'm like, what? Like only in the fucking 70s or 80s, like no one in hell would that fucking happen now. Brady is missing. Finds a bloody kite, and this is when we find out that they find the child, you know, and his face is just like
turned into slunk meat.
Yeah. And then they cut to like the coffin, and they're like having like a service or whatever, and the dad is like flipping out, just like, yeah, you want to fucking, I want justice, you know, that kind of shit. You talk about your Psalms, you talk about 316. Dad 316 says I just whooped your ass. So he was pretty pissed. I mean, rightfully so. Because the preacher was like essentially like trying to say something, but it was just like, and it's in hindsight when you know that that's the guy that fucking was responsible, it makes you even more like, because you can tell that he, like during that scene, it's almost like he didn't want to fucking do that. It's like obviously like werewolves can't really help themselves, so it's like he's like so flustered.
Wolf's got a wolf.
Yeah.
We'll find that out more in Bad Moon.
Yeah. And a guy steps in a bear trap. They're out there looking for the stuff, and they step in a bear trap. And this is when they're like literally just on a set in somebody's garage, it looked like, and it was like there was fog everywhere. It was legit, but it was...
it's a cheap way to film a werewolf stalking scene.
I can't move. I said, are these actors? They suck. But it was funny. It was just like, these are like people
that adds to the charm.
They got off the street. So then they have like more coffins, and then like it's like, Reverend, he was torn apart, and then like they all transform into like werewolves, and they're like going nuts, and there's like a werewolf like playing the piano or whatever.
It's one of the coolest scenes.
Yeah,
in the movie.
it's fucking awesome. And then like he wakes up, and you're like, what the fuck? He's having like a nightmare.
What a horrible nightmare.
Yeah.
Oh, wait a minute.
You're like, holy shit. So this is what the Silver Bullet V2 shows up, and he goes down the street and all this stuff, and you were
Top
saying
speed
like,
of 65 miles an hour.
Yeah, and he's just like passes up a car, and then like Uncle Red's leaving, he's like, watch out for the werewolf. I'm like, this is what like kind of I didn't understand in hindsight, because he says that, and it's like at this point he doesn't believe werewolf exists, or there's even a mention of it really, so he just says that, it feels like randomly.
Well, I think Gary Busey was ad-libbing a lot of his dialogue, so
he's like, I'm in a werewolf movie, watch out for the werewolf, and everyone else is like, what are you talking about? But it was also like, if he, I guess at that point, if he actually thought that, it's like, what the fuck are you doing? But speaking of like letting him do what he wants, he shot the werewolf in the eye, and it was like, dude, what a fucking shot.
Yeah, 1 in a million.
Yeah.
Luke Skywalker style.
Yeah, fucking lighting a bottle rocket, and it hits a werewolf, like a werewolf right in the fucking eye. This is one of the greatest suspense parts in this entire film. he like tells his sister that, you know, what happened, and she believes him to a degree, and she goes out looking for people that like one of their eyes is fucked up, and it's like, it's super tense because it's like, I'll be right there, honey, what do they want? And like they show up, and it's like, it'll show both finally, and it's like, okay, but it's like, you know, there's a part where they're in the barber shop and she uncovers somebody and they're fine. It's just like, you're like, well shit, who is it? And the one person she doesn't check is she's like delivering the cans to the preacher, and he's like in the garden, and it pans over and she just sees the back of his head working, and it's like he's got like a fucking patch on his eye, and you're like, oh my god.
Yeah, that was very well done. I agree. That was really cool.
I was like, holy shit.
She was basically like, was it you or was it me? Or was it he or she? Who
like,
done it?
It's like, well, he did it.
I would hope it wasn't you. You are the one looking. You'd think you would know.
Fucking idiot. He's like,
Who Done It by Genesis. Great
yeah.
song.
Great song with like lyrics that make about as much sense as dog shite. But then we've got like the preacher looking like the governor from The Walking Dead with his eye patch at one point. I was like, oh my god, dude. Like, this had to have been where they kind of got that idea, because it's so menacing. This is like, they kind of tell the uncle finally, and he doesn't believe them, but he's like at least humoring them. And then they kind of interject a scene here that I felt was kind of sad, where like Marty's watching kids play baseball, and it's like focusing on their legs essentially.
He's like Tiny
just,
Tim in that movie.
Yeah. He's like a boiled goose. But it's like, yeah. So, tries to run him off the bridge, and he completely fucks that up. And he says, "You see, you meddling little shit!" And, like, right when he's about to be essentially murdered, like, he starts screaming, and one of the, like, a dude just barely hears him and stops, and that's when he, like, slinks away, and it's like, he, you know, he was so fucked. What do you think about the idea of like that, where like there's a preacher, you know, he serves God and stuff, and he's like pledged his life to be like, you know, an upstanding citizen, but he just so happens to have a curse like this, and it's like the duality of like trying to do good, but you can't help yourself.
Yeah, that's an interesting idea, and that reminds me of Wicker Man, like how the main character, like, he's the most pious person ever, but like,
yeah,
his faith can't overcome like the evil that is around him. So
he's like, let's have a sex. Yeah, it's pretty heavy stuff, man.
Yeah, this is a heavy movie.
Yeah,
I mean, the stuff we've talked about is heavy, but like, this was still a fun, like,
and the soundtrack is pretty jovial,
too.
Bouncy
music, and like
jovial sound, like run, dun, 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 dun.
It's like a little bouncing ball.
So they had the police officer finally go to confront the Reverend, because the uncle like tells him about it, and he kind of shows him evidence with like him trying to run him off the road and stuff with the silver bullet or whatever, and like the violins start going nuts, like the Thing style, essentially. And he goes from the governor to Negan and like beats him to death with a baseball bat. It's like, holy shit, dude! Like, whoa! It must have been like super hard, because like it's a werewolf using a baseball bat, not just a regular dude.
Yeah, he's got the strength of like 10 men.
But yeah, that guy gets munched. So this is also something they used to do a lot in like 80s and all these older movies, like especially like aimed at fantastical fantasy, sci-fi, that kind of stuff, like for kids, or just like, you know, that kind of a thing. Like they had this part where they like, Uncle Red wants to like, they give him like their Saint Michael medal, I think it is, and like the cross, and they turn them into like a silver bullet.
Yeah.
And like,
it's cool to watch that kind of stuff.
Yeah, and like she's like the man Uncle Red had gone to see was more than a gunsmith. He was Uncle Red said an old world craftsman, a sort of wizard of weapons. He confirmed the high-grade silver content of my crucifix and Marty's medallion, melted them down and molded them into a silver bullet. Marty had read all legends on werewolves and thought, or though they differed on several major points, they all agreed on one. It takes silver to kill a werewolf, and we were taking no chances. It's just like great Stephen King stuff translated into great like bedtime story comfort reading.
Yep, exactly.
And then we've kind of got like the final showdown where like he essentially sets up the mom and dad to go out of town because he's like, you know, I won this thing, but me and my girlfriend broke up, and like you find out that he didn't win anything. He essentially paid for them to go to like
paid him off.
Yeah, paid him off to go to vacation and like, you know, all this other stuff just so he could be alone with the you know, his nephew and niece so he could like watch their asses. He's like, you better watch your ass.
James Cameron style.
Yeah. I did think it was kind of funny though. There was a part where Gary Busey's like got the gun, he's waving it around, and he like points it at the kids, but not like to threaten them. He's just like, "You guys are going to bed," and he's like pointing the gun in their direction. I'm like, dude.
Oh, Uncle Red.
Yeah.
So irresponsible.
Yeah. I love Gary Busey's reaction when he sees like the werewolf. It's just like, just imagine what it is, and that's what it is. Like, it's and we've got some great fight here with you know, them trying to scramble over the bullet, the gun, that kind of stuff, and Uncle Red's kind of holding his own with the werewolf and like fighting him off and stuff. He's got like Herculean strength because he's trying to protect his like, you know, loved ones.
So what do you think of the werewolf itself in this movie? Because that's always an important question.
Yeah, I was going to say the werewolf doesn't look as great as some of the others I've seen, but it's not horrible. I've seen way better ones, and in fact, the next movie we're going to talk about has a way better looking werewolf. And I can name, you know, quite a few movies that I think are way better. But I've also seen movies that are way more laughable as far as werewolves go. I guess it's what you would expect for... It's weird, though, because, like, the transformation scene in the church, they looked way better than this end part. So...
Yeah, I think it's on the lower end of the spectrum of werewolves, but it's serviceable.
Right.
It looks like the Coors Light Beer Wolf, basically.
Yeah, it's pretty lame, honestly. It's not super scary. But, like, halfway through the reverse transformation, once he gets fucking shot in the head, or whatever, or in the eye... he looks like Bigfoot at one point. He's like, just face and then like hair everywhere. He's like,
dude, I just realized Gary Busey's the bad guy in Under Siege 1, and Everett McGill's the bad guy in Under Siege 2.
Dude!
This is part of the RCU, the Ryback Cinematic Universe.
Like the wrestler?
He's Casey like, Ryback.
Feed me more.
Ryback!
Freeze frame. I love you too, Marty. Good night. What'd you think about that?
I like it.
Like a freeze frame in a movie.
Yep. Every movie should end with a freeze frame and have bloopers for the credits.
Well, I will stop
Even
watching
Citizen
movies
Kane.
Then.
He's like, Rosebud!
And then he's like falling on his ass. Here I Am Alone Again song plays. And I was like, there you have it. So they had like an exit song. So, yeah. That's pretty much the breakdown of the film. Overall, I thought it was a pretty damn good film, honestly.
Yeah, I mean, if you like werewolf movies, this is a must-see.
Yeah.
It's highly entertaining.
Yeah.
Never boring. Gary Busey's great in it.
Often imitated, never duplicated. Silver bullet. I don't think I've ever duplicated this exact format with like a child in a wheelchair for a werewolf movie, but yeah. So that part is correct. Yeah. So aside for some pretty risky, not risky, they're risky, pretty dodgy looking special effects with like the main werewolf at the end. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's about it, man.
Yeah.
So what do you give this film?
I'm gonna go 7.95.
Oh yeah? Yeah.
I like it.
Yeah. What the fuck is this? I probably got to give it a 9.95.
Nice. I'm glad you liked it, man.
Good.
It's just a fun movie.
Yeah, it's great.
Does what it sets out to do.
I'll be interested. It understood the assignment.
It understood the assignment.
I'll be interested when I finally get like the Shot Factory versions of both of these films, so I can actually like get more in depth, because I was kind of
the making of that movie is very interesting. The special features and like interviews. There's a lot of weird and funny stuff that happened making that movie, as you might guess.
Yeah, a movie with Gary Busey.
Right. And a Dino De Laurentiis production, which there's usually shenanigans happening on those.
Okay, well, you ready to switch over to your pick?
Bad Moon.
Moonwig. It is Moonwig. So something, I guess, well, I'll go ahead and get into it now, actually, but something I actually just realized, both these fucking films have werewolves, well, obviously, I just realized that. Both these films...
Whoa, no way, on Werewolf Week? Both movies had werewolves?
These films have, they're werewolf films that have fucking, like, uncle-nephew relationships. Yeah. I was just like, what?
Uncle Week.
Yeah. Uncle Scrooge. But speaking of which, Bad Moon. So this movie came out in 96. Canadian American horror film, which it definitely feels like Canadian. It has, like I said, Silver Bullet. It has that Are You Afraid of the Dark, which was filmed in Canada, so it's got that like kids feel to it a bit. And produced by James Robinson. Films about a mother and son who are threatened by her brother, who struggles to overcome the curse of lycanthropy.
Spoiler alert.
Yeah, but you find out like instantly within watching the film.
Yeah.
It stars Michael Pare, Mariel Hemingway, and Mason Gamble.
Dennis the Menace himself.
I know. I actually, when I saw that, I was just like, yes.
Why does everyone still remember Dennis the Menace? Like, the movie wasn't even good. I guess, like...
it's better than a lot of kids' movies, I
Yeah,
remember.
That's true. It wasn't bad. But we were chasing, like...
Yeah.
Every year there was like, this is going to be the next Home Alone.
Yeah.
And then there never really was. There were just imitators.
Yeah. Yeah, I thought that... what was it? Honestly, there were quite a few kids' movies that I remember watching back in the day, and, like... I remember really liking that film and, like, the Home Alone films and Mighty Ducks. But, yeah, there were a bunch of random other ones, like First Kid and shit like that. Yeah, it's funny because I don't really know what else I've ever seen this, like, Dennis the Menace guy in. Like, this and that.
He even kept his same haircut.
Yeah. He, of course, wasn't as out of control in this as he was in... I mean, he was in the film, but... he wasn't like the lead, like he wasn't Dennis the Menace. But the film is based on the novel Thor by Wayne Smith, which mainly tells the story from the dog's viewpoint, which I thought was pretty cool. I didn't know that. I
agree. Watching this movie again made me want to read that book.
Yeah,
so I bet it's a great book.
Yeah. And it was published in the United States. Okay, that's not useful information. So it says... I don't really care about that. Yeah.
So this movie, like, it was barely released. The studio dumped it on November 1st, which is like a slap in the face for a horror movie, like...
yeah.
To release it the day after Halloween.
Yeah.
It was a huge bomb, and, like, basically no one saw it.
That'd be like releasing a Christmas movie, not...
on January 1st.
Yeah, like... yeah, years before Christmas.
Yeah.
Yeah, like months before Christmas.
But also, the director did go back and create a director's cut, which is one of the few director's cuts that's shorter than the theatrical. But it's almost identical. He removed 2 shots, which were the werewolf transformation. There's the one shot where like his face kind of morphs, you know? There were 2 other shots like that looked really bad.
That they just take out or something?
And he removed them, which was a good idea.
Yeah, I don't remember that. I'm like, I don't remember them being taken out while I was watching the film. I'm watching it, and he's like cutting the film up.
So I'd never heard of this movie either until Scream Factory released it many years ago now. But luckily, I got the Blu-ray.
We were on a Werewolf Cook. We were on a werewolf kick there for
Dude,
a
a
while.
delicious werewolf.
Yeah.
Werewolf cook? I want some
It
of
was
that
like
wolf
Dog
meat.
Soldiers, Ginger Snaps, a bunch of other films. We were kind of like looking for the next big,
Right.
the next big thing. American Werewolf in London, London, not Paris. I never saw Paris. I heard it was dog shit. Or
Unwatchable.
wolf shit.
Unwatchable.
It was digested beef. So, yeah, this movie starts off with people in the jungle having sex.
Which I happened to notice. Like I saw meat and two veg.
Yeah, yeah.
You
You
see
see
a
pretty
bean
much
bag.
everything. You also see like her breasts, and like I thought this was just gonna be like a sex scene where they don't show anything, but they show everything. Right after that, like he gets scratched, she gets fucking mutilated. And, like, if you had cut this beginning part out of this movie, you would have thought this was just, like, a fucking kid's film.
Right.
Because this beginning part is, like, fucking horrendous. Like, it's
They
great.
went hard R to
Yeah, it's
start like
awesome.
right at the beginning.
Damn, they went hard on. But, like, the effects were legit as hell, I thought, like, at the beginning there. And, like, then, like, the werewolf gets his head blown off. And it was fucking awesome.
Shotgun blast to the face. That's one way to kill a werewolf.
Yeah. Which is interesting because, like, in a lot of stuff, and that's kind of the thing they make in this distinction about it, is that, like, werewolves can be killed by stuff like that, getting its head blown off. Whereas there's sometimes a lot more mysticism to him. Like in Monster Squad, he gets blown up and then, like, comes back together, and, you know, you can shoot a werewolf with regular bullets and it's fine. It's like it has more of a mystical properties of, like, the purity of silver and, like, sanctity of, like, Christ to like drive out the, like, hellishness of stuff, it seems like. They did, like, I think it's weird because they had, like, dog vision in, like, one or so scenes, but it was literally just like if you're looking and you just go like this, like, it was,
They like stretched out the
it was weird.
film.
And they didn't even do, like, most people say, like, not most people, like, yeah, experts say that dogs have, like they're colorblind. They didn't even try to put, like, a colorblind filter over it, so I was just like, this is lazy as fuck. I'm like, I want this dog vision. But it's kind of like a preview of what you could have had if this was all from the, you know, dog's point of view. POV. Or POG, point of dog, not point of God. But yeah, we already talked about Dennis the Menace. I was fucking freaking out about that. I wasn't freaking out. I'm like, yeah.
One thing I like about this movie is, like, the location.
Yes.
It basically takes place in almost one location, like their house. And
Yeah, and it's
like the coziest house ever.
It's like British Columbia. They go at the beginning. They have, like, an aerial shot, like,
nestled
drone
in the
footage.
pine forest.
Yeah, and it's like this could have been the setup for any sort of horror movie, like a Bigfoot movie or like a lake monster movie, or like a werewolf movie, you know. So it was fucking shit. It was shit. It was awesome. It was the shits.
It's also very 90s.
Yes, everybody's wearing, like, the well, not everybody, but, like, you know, it's just very 90s. I got this glass.
And I think there's a scene early in the movie where, like, it's bedtime.
Yeah.
And it's like the dog basically tucks the kid into
Yeah.
bed and, like, he brings him his toy, like, kisses him on the forehead and, like, go to sleep, little...
He goes to, like,
little Dennis.
the mom's room, and she's like, good night, Thor, and then he goes and lays down in
Lays
front
by
of the
a cozy fire.
Like, fuck off, get this dog a bed. This is bullshit. But that was still back in the day when it was not, you didn't really see people sleeping with dogs, or, like, when everybody knows that they sleep with their dog, you know, like, in their bed.
He got to sleep next to a warm fire.
That's true, but he didn't get to sleep next to his masters. But he was kind of a protector.
Yeah, I mean, Thor is the hero of this movie.
Yeah.
It's very cool to see a dog be
just
the
as
hero.
in the MCU. Yeah. He's like, oh, I guess, I don't know. But,
this is my Thor.
OG Thor.
Yeah.
He's like the that's
Chris
dog
Hemsworth
Thor.
could never play that
That's
role.
the dog Thor in the alternate universe. "You must be the lady of the house. I see you have a young boy here." I was like, that's a fucking weird thing to say. It got a chuckle out of me because of how weird it was worded.
That's a weird scene.
Yeah. Because essentially this guy's coming up and he's like selling education and the dog's watching the guy like he's interested, and I was cracking up, but then the dog's like, freaking out on him. And like essentially anybody the dog doesn't like, you find out later, is kind of an asshole.
Yeah, I think the whole purpose of this scene is just to set her up as being a good lawyer and to have another person to like be a body count in this movie.
But like even if she's a good lawyer, that's still like a liability issue for the dog to just straight up attack the motherfucking guy. She's like, "I'll have your balls in a sling." Like,
I think the dog acting is really good in this movie, but doesn't hold a candle to the Thing. That's still the best of all time.
Yeah.
Like, nice try, Thor, but watch yourself, counselor. The Thing is still in charge.
The dog was like pissed at that guy. It was like, "You're an inspiration for birth control." But yeah, it was very what 90s of what they thought a lawyer was too. That a lawyer could just say something and everybody would back down and be like, "You're right, I won't take this to court." Like lawyers don't have the final say. They the judges do. The movie kind of reminded me of Jurassic Park with all the boreal forest and like steamy jungle scenes they had, which set it up well for when they had like a dude get attacked while he was out doing his shit, and it like bites through his helmet. It like Batman's down from the like sky. Yeah, really cool. Or well, he was in a tree. He wasn't like Batwolf. He's like, "I'm the protector of this forest, motherfucker."
Ring of Fire style, they jump out of a helicopter and fall 90 miles.
It's like, razor that you gave me, I'll use it to slit my throat. I'm like, this is some weird talk. Like when the uncle says that, I was like, Jesus. We've got some cool artifacts that the uncle brought back.
Yeah, he basically has like an artifact room in his trailer.
Yeah, he has like essentially his trailer's like a fucking museum. He just took a bunch of antiquities and stole them.
I also love the location of the trailer. It's like by the most picturesque like lake and forest and mountains. And like, dude. Yeah,
it's really, really cool. And then we kind of like see that the body is like grisly destroyed. It's like in a tree and it's like literally just fucking bones and shit. It's like
literally torn apart.
Yeah.
So what'd you think of Michael Paré as the uncle slash? I was gonna say vampire.
I could see this guy being on The Sopranos, unless he was.
No, he wasn't on Sopranos. I pretty much only know him from this movie and Streets of Fire, which I don't know if you've ever seen that.
Is that an action film? It sounds like it.
It's an action musical.
Oh, wow.
It's a great movie.
Almost as good as Cop Rock. Nice. That sounds really cool.
Yeah. You'd like it. Rick Moranis is in it.
Nice. Yeah, I'll have to check it out.
And then the other lead is Mariel Hemingway.
Yes.
I think she's good in this too.
Yeah. Yeah, I think I like the guy that plays the son in Dennis the Menace, but he really doesn't have a lot to do here other than just kind of exist. The main stuff,
a target for the
he's
werewolf.
Definitely not like Corey Haim, where he's like a focus at all. He's not really even ever threatened until kind of the end of the film. You know what I mean? It's mainly like the main players are like the uncle and like the werewolf.
Yeah.
No shit. No shit, motherfucker. It's the uncle as the werewolf versus Thor, the fucking protective dog.
Did you notice at one point they're drinking Coors Light?
Yes, I thought that was cracking up because you were
two movies with silver bullets.
Yeah, I was cracking up about
silver
that.
bullet. Wait.
Yeah, seriously. And then Uncle calls and the police are there, presumably because they found the dead body in the woods, and they just let him like leave with his trailer. I thought that was so fucking weird.
I know. That was maybe one scene that didn't make any sense because I thought they were coming to like arrest him.
Yeah, that's what I thought too. And like,
but he's like, I need to get out of here right now. It's like, it's too late, dude. The cops are already there.
So this is what happens. He's on the phone. He's like crying almost, and it's like you think maybe he's gonna confess. Like, I need to tell you something, sis. I'm a fucking werewolf. I've been doing horrible shit. I need help and all this stuff. And he's like tearing up when he's on the phone. And then they zoom out and the police are like unraveling the tape and all this crap. And he's just like, you know, can I take you up on that offer and come to your house? They're like, yeah, anytime. You can just live out of my fridge. You never see anything else about, like, the cops ever again.
Right.
Like, they just let him leave, and his fucking camper is in the middle of the fucking crime scene. I thought that was so weird, like you were saying. I'm glad that you noticed that, because I was like, am I just
something
being
weird
super,
going on there.
like... Because sometimes
unless
I feel
maybe
like
she lives so remotely, like, no, even the cops can't find where... it made no sense.
Yeah.
I can't defend it.
It was almost better if the cops weren't even there.
Yeah.
It like made no sense. So like then we've got like the uncle, he chains himself up to the tree and it looks freaking awesome.
So let's talk about the werewolf in this movie.
Yeah. It's fucking awesome.
It's one of the best ever.
Yeah.
It might be the best. It looks awesome and super scary.
Yeah. I think like Dog Soldiers is still up there for me.
Yeah, that's hard to beat.
But I mean they're all different. Like I mean like the you know, Ginger Snaps is different from, like, you know, this film is different from Dog Soldiers, is different from American Werewolf in London. Like, sometimes they'll have ones that'll just stand on their hind legs. Sometimes it'll be, like, an actual huge, like, dire wolf kind of thing. But, yeah, it was fucking awesome. He's chained himself up, and he's, like, trying to, like, kick off the tree and, like, cool off and stuff. And it's like, Jesus!
I really liked how, basically, the uncle he's on his last resort.
Yes.
Like he's tried everything to rid himself of the curse.
Yeah, he's gone to like doctors, he's gone to like mysticism shit, and he's just like, maybe the love of family will help me and stuff.
That's such a cool touch.
It reminds me a lot of like the Wolfman with like Larry Talbot being like, I gotta find like a cure or anything, and you know, maybe love will be the cure. And it's like, because
spoiler alert, not strong enough.
That's almost at the point where it's just like love is strong enough to cure, like, you know, a fucking heart attack or something. Or I guess you can't cure a heart attack, you just...
And by the end of this movie, he's just calling his sister a bitch.
Yeah. He's like Miss
Freddie
McMahon
Stein
with Linda. You bitch.
Kiss my ass.
He's like, I want you to join the Kiss My Tail Club. Woo! But anyway, yeah, like it's interesting because they introduce something different in this film where like usually it's full moon. In this, he's like, you know, why can't any moon, you know, be? And you find out that's the case, so that's why it's so
every night.
Yeah, every night it's fucking werewolfism. Because as bad as like the Wolfman has it, or like other people that are werewolves turning into werewolf every night, it's like Jesus. But it humanizes it, which is something that is I've seen in like, you know, Wolfman, and I guess you've seen it in other things too. I mean, obviously like American Werewolf in London, and like, but like obviously like in Dog Soldiers, it's more of like a zombie kind of deal where they're fucking like a relentless force and like monsters and shit. And obviously like there was maybe a hint of that in Silver Bullet, but that guy was kind of become an asshole.
Yeah.
Whereas this guy, it seems like he still wants to do the thing until he turns like straight asshole at the end of the film.
Another thing that contributes to like the cozy feel of this movie is the music. A lot of times reminded me of like a Resident Evil safe room.
Yeah, it was very like
yeah, I just want to live in this world.
Yeah, it felt very like you don't have to worry about anything right now.
You're safe in here.
The dog like confronts him when he's like chained up and stuff, and I thought that was kind of like, it was a little weird because it was one of those deals where it's like, I understand the dog being like protective of the family, but like
he's smarter than any human.
yeah, it's kind of like they also did some dub-tastic work with the dog, because there's times when the dog like whines or whimpers, and it's like, it's such a nice dog that he's not like growling or anything,
dude.
And I was like, dude, this dog is such a nice dog. He's not doing this shit, but you hear like that kind of stuff off screen.
I'm impressed. Like, your mastery of noticing ADR even goes to the animal kingdom. Like, that's amazing. I never would have noticed that.
What does ADR stand for?
Additional dialogue recording?
Oh, okay. Maybe in this
Basically
one,
any dubbing.
additional dog recording. Yeah, no, I mean, did you feel that way?
No, I never would have noticed that, but I'm sure you're right.
A lot of the times when like, if something's off screen and it seems like they're not showing it, I feel like that's the time when ADR is most used for, especially with animals, to whimper and whine, or like, it's been hit. And that's what I kind of felt in this film, at least.
Animal dog recording.
Animal dog.
It's an animal dog. It's a freak.
So what'd you think about, like, when the floodlights came on and the werewolf ran? Like, why... Was it
sure.
Maybe because of just light in general made it, like, leave?
Like, instinct?
Yeah.
I'm not sure. I hadn't thought about that.
Because, like, later on in the film, it just comes into a house that is lit, right? So maybe at that point it was just like, fuck it.
He was hungry.
Yeah, he was, like, fucking transforming. There's another weird scene in this where, like, they find pictures of his horribly mutated lover. I don't know why he had them.
And had them so easily
findable. He had fucking evidence, and he had, like, pictures of his dead... It'd be like if you had pictures of, like, a dead fucking relative that got, like...
torn apart.
Yeah, a 25-car pileup and blown up by a bomb or something. You'd be like...
You had it just in a folder on top of everything else, like,
that
out
you
for
just
anyone
looked
to
at
reach.
fucking regularly. And then she finds his diary, which talks about the circumstances and stuff, that was really cool. It talks about, like, what he went through and, like, like we talked about earlier.
Yeah.
And then we've got, of course, we have to have the obligatory asshole gets what's coming to him scene. The insurance,
another kill.
Yeah, the insurance scam guy returns with a butcher knife, which was fucked up.
Like, that's quite an escalation.
Butcher knife, and he says, "Nobody makes fucking fool out of me, lady." And he's gonna, like, kill the dog. And then the werewolf, like, he's in frame, and the werewolf is, like, rises up behind him. It was like...
That was awesome.
Yeah. It was the rise of the fucking insurance guy's killer. But he reams him. He, like, I don't know what happens to him again, but he just fucking kills him. And this movie has some really great effects. It almost makes me wish...
The effects are, like,
yeah,
A-plus level.
Yeah.
Like, they're great.
As much as I
Except
like...
for the CGI.
Yeah. As much as I like how the movie turned out, I kind of wish that there would have been, like, an alternate version of this film where it was just him going on a tear, killing people. Because whenever they do it, it's like, dude.
This movie has such a small scale to it, and it's like the credits roll at 75 minutes.
Yeah.
Like, it's barely over an hour. Like, there's not enough room for,
they were, like, trying to get
more
the fuck
kills.
out.
Which I appreciate that. But.
No, yeah, but it was like, yeah. So a sad scene of a dog being taken away.
That is sad.
Yeah, I think that's, for me, probably the saddest thing that happens in either one of these films.
But he has a triumphant return.
Ah, that's true. I also thought it was weird. The uncle says to the nephew, he's like, "Come here, come here," and I'm like, okay, that's kind of fucked up, dude. You don't talk that way to your fucking relatives. And then, like you said, the dog comes back, and so the dog, like, gets let out by, like, Dennis the Menace, and fucking he instantly books it home because he knows what's going down, and he starts fighting the dog, and the dog does, like, a fucking dog torpedo and fucking launches himself, and the werewolf is, like, Mike Tysoning the fucking dog. He's not trying to bite him, he's, like, fucking punching him and shit, and I'm like, okay. And then, like, they shoot him a bunch, and, like, the dog fucking launches himself again like a missile, and they both go out the window, and I'm like...
He goes full edge on him, like spear style.
He's like,
Thor kicks ass.
Thor's like, "You think you know me? On this day!"
He's like...
He's like, DX.
Dog Generation X?
Yeah, Dog Generation X. He's like, "Sniff it!" But yeah, like, one of the coolest things in this is, like, at the very end when he's, like, all fucked up and, like, scratched up and he's turned back into a human, Thor kind of, like, tracks him down and stuff, and he just says, like, "Just kill me." He says, like, "Do it." Because, like, he thought, you know, he could be cured and stuff, and he loves his family, and he didn't really want to ever do anything like this, it seems like. And the dog is just like, the dog hesitates because it doesn't want to kill anybody, but they do it off screen.
Mercy kill.
And then they have one last scary dog turns into a werewolf, like, jump scare. It's like, they're like, Thor, you're great, you know, and all this stuff, and then he's like, they show, like, you know, he turns into a were-dog, which I thought was really cool looking. But then she wakes up.
Yeah.
And I have
one last scare.
Yeah, it says, honestly, if not for the nudity and gore, this could have been on, like, Are You Afraid of the Dark?
Yeah.
Good film, though.
Yeah, I love this movie. Like I said earlier, I could watch this movie all the time, because I just want to live in the world of this movie.
Great
it's very
kids
cool.
film.
Great kids film. I think it's a great film in general.
Yeah, for sure.
One of the top werewolf movies of all time.
Yeah, great stuff. It's very sad.
I only have one complaint. They got the title wrong. They should have called it Good Moon. Because that's
right?
good.
They fucked up the assignment. Of naming. So what would you give this film?
This film is fine. I give it a 9.
No, yeah.
I give it a 9.95.
I give it a double. 9.95 as
nice.
well. Yeah,
cool, man. I'm really glad you liked it.
Yeah, Werewolf.
Everyone should see Bad Moon. It's great.
Yeah, Werewolf Week this week was a fucking pleasure.
I
I
agree.
had so much fun watching his films.
I think Bad Moon is a little bit more well-made of a movie.
Yes.
But Silver Bullet is more ambitious. Like,
I think Silver Bullet's definitely, like, obviously more well-known. It's more classic, but it's classic because it's more well-known as well. This film is, yeah, like you said, it's better. It's well-made. Whatever.
the acting's better.
Yeah.
But they're both fun.
So, boils and ghouls. Next week, we were going to do fucking Halloween week. And Halloween Ends fucking ruined that.
It ended. Any ideas of doing that?
So fuck that
Not
shit.
worth it.
Yeah. So, instead, we're diverting, and we're doing essentially, I guess, what is like a wild card week, but it's vampire week, essentially. Because
Just turned out to...
Yeah. Matt picked a
Coincidence.
film, I picked a film, and it just so happened that they were both vampire films. Matt, what did you pick?
Near Dark.
Okay, nice. And yeah, that's
Starring the great Lance Henriksen.
true. I don't really know anything about this film, and I've never seen it before, but I'm excited to see it. And I picked Fright Night, which I've never seen, but I've always wanted to see. It's another classic that like I've never seen that I really wanted to see.
Your third straight pick from 1985.
I know, keeping it alive.
Longest streak ever. Will it continue?
We'll see.
Tune in to find
Like
out.
streaking. So I guess from the Buddy Shotz studio out here in wonderful Werewolf country, you know, guys, just check out the podcasts and Buddy Shotz on YouTube and check us out on social media. Do you have anything else to say, my friend?
Just one
My buddy.
thing. Bye.
This is so stupid.
Oh no.
What just happened?
They broke.
Okay, whatever.
Too late now.
Yeah.
You got it on the wrong hand.
Just leave all this in.
That's great. You can put it in the deleted scenes.
Yeah.